Hi friends, it's me, Megan.
And I'm Jessie. Megan, check it out. I found Lola the lizard.
That's great, Jessie.
I know. I thought I had lost her forever, but my mom found her under my bed. I'm so happy. I wonder what else might be under my bed.
I shudder to think. But finding Lola reminds me of today's Bible story.
Did Jesus tell another story? Was something lost?
You've got it, Jessie. In today's Bible story, Jesus told 3 parables to teach about God's love. Listen.
When Jesus taught, many people came to listen to him. The religious leaders were angry that sinners came to listen to Jesus. They did not think Jesus should be friends with people who do wrong things. So Jesus told them 3 parables, or stories, to teach them about God. Jesus said, if a man has 100 sheep and one of the sheep goes missing, he leaves the 99 sheep in the field and looks everywhere for his lost sheep until he finds it. And when he finds it, he carries the sheep home. Then he tells his friends and neighbors, let's celebrate because I have found my lost sheep.
Jesus told them what the story meant. This is what heaven is like, but there will be more joy in heaven when one person is sorry for his sin and turns back to God than when 99 good people don't need to be sorry. Then Jesus told a second story. If a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one of them, she lights a lamp, sweeps the house, and searches everywhere until she finds it. And when she finds it, she tells her friends and neighbors, let's celebrate because I have found my lost coin. Jesus said, this is what heaven is like. God's angels will celebrate when one person is sorry for his sin and turns back to God.
Then Jesus told one more story. A man had 2 sons. The younger son told his father, give me the part of what you have that will be mine someday. So the father gave his son what was his. The younger son left home and traveled to a faraway country. He spent all his money and made wrong choices. The son had nothing left, and the country he was in ran out of food. He got a job feeding pigs, but he was hungry. The son was sorry for his wrong choices, so he decided to go home. His father ran to him and gave him a big hug and a kiss. The son started to tell his father he was sorry. But the father told his servants, bring the best clothes for my son to wear. Let's celebrate with a big meal. My son was lost, and now he is found.
The older son came home and asked, what's going on? A servant said, your brother is home. Your father is celebrating. He is so happy. The older son was angry. The father asked the older son to come inside and celebrate. Listen, the older son said, I have worked hard for you. I always obeyed you, but you never threw a party for me. Son, the father said, everything I have is yours. This is a day to be happy and to celebrate, because your brother was lost, but now he is found.
Jesus told stories about people who were looking for things that were lost. Jesus told these stories to teach about himself. Jesus looks for people who are lost, people who do not know him. Jesus gave his life to save people from sin.
Hi friends, it's Teacher Laura here. It's wonderful to get to be with you on your screen today, and I'm thankful that even if we can't be together in person, we can still learn about God together this way. This week was different, wasn't it? We actually got to hear 3 different stories in one video, and they all had something in common. Can you think of what that was? That's right. They all involve something being lost and then found. Just a reminder, now Jesus was teaching in parables, which were stories, and it helped people understand God better. And his first parable was about a lost sheep. Now, I know most of us know what a sheep looks like. We can say what it sounds like. But I don't think most of us have sheep in our yards. But if you do, that's awesome. Let me know. I'd love to come see them because I love sheep. Back in Jesus' time, though, sheep were very common. A lot of people had sheep, and they would have understood what they were like. One thing that's useful about sheep is they eat the grass. So if you think about it, they were like the original lawnmowers. But they also provided wool for clothing. Sometimes people would drink the milk of the sheep, and then other times they would eat the sheep for food. It was a way to eat. Something that I have learned about sheep is that unless they are directed where to go, they will wander wherever they want to go. So a shepherd or someone who takes care of the sheep leads them to water or to find green grass. Now, Jesus talks a lot about how God is like a shepherd. And a shepherd isn't mean to the sheep. It doesn't hit the sheep when they wander away, but instead he'll use his staff, or sometimes it's called a rod, to guide them back to the group. His job is to protect the sheep and to keep them safe in the same way that God is very protective of us. So the second story, if we remember, is about a woman who loses a coin, and she searches all over for it. And when she finally finds it, she's so happy that she has her friends come celebrate with her. Now, we don't know much about the woman, but if I use my imagination, I imagine that she was saving those coins for something important. In the Bible, they actually give a name to the type of coin. It was called a drachmas, and it amounted to how much money that you would make for one day. So one drachmas was how much you got paid for working for one day. So she had 10 of those coins. Does that make sense? So she lost one day of work, basically. So it was a lot. It was a lot of money. Have you ever lost something that was precious to you, or something that you really loved and then you couldn't find? But do you remember how excited you were when you found it? Friends, we are like that coin to God. We are precious to God, and He values each and every one of us. The third story was very different than the others. So in the Bible, there's a son who leaves, asks his dad if he can have the money that would usually be given to him when the father would die. So in a way, he was telling his dad that he didn't love him and that he wished he was dead. It was very hurtful that he wanted all of his money then instead of waiting till the father died. But the dad loves him, so he says yes. He lets him have his money. And at first the son thinks he's doing great. I mean, he is traveling and he's probably living like a king. But then the money runs out, and he realizes that money wasn't the important thing. He thought it was, but it wasn't. And he realizes that even being a servant in his father's house would be better than staying where he was. So he goes back home. Now, the father could have told the son that he wasn't welcome. And if I use my imagination again, I can bet that the dad really had some hurt feelings from the son who went away. So even though he didn't have to welcome him home, he did. And he threw a gigantic party for the son who came home. Even though the son had treated him so poorly, he treated his son like the guest of honor. Friends, the father in this story is like God. Even if we turn our back on God or tell God that we don't want to have a forever friendship with him, he still longs for us and loves us. So the first parable talks about how God searches for us so that he can protect us. And the second parable talks about how God searches for us because he values us. And the third parable tells about how God longs for us, even if we choose not to love him and follow him, and we choose to distance ourselves. So I thought that was pretty special. I was very excited to share it with you. And now we have to do our memory verse. So we get in place. Psalm 78:2. I will speak using stories. I will tell of things that have been secret since long ago. Let's do it one more time. Psalm 78:2. I will speak using stories. I will tell of things that have been secret since long ago. Friends, this has been wonderful to be with you today. I love you and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.